What's up YouTube, Saf here on SuperSaf TV, and we've got a brand new unboxing for you guys today. Here is the ASUS Zenfone 5Z. There's also a Zenfone 5, which I'd describe as kind of mid-range, and this is sort of higher mid-range. The price is going to be around about £500 in the UK, around $600 in the US, I believe, so just slightly higher compared to something like the OnePlus 6. Right, you can see here in the box that we do have a little note here, SuperSaf TV UK, and that is because this is currently not available for retail. It will be coming in the next few weeks, but I have got hold of this early. You can see we've got the Zenfone 5Z logo. It's kind of shaped like a heart with two devices, and on the right and left hand side we have this "We Love" photo. It's completely sealed, so nice and fresh, so we'll get it outside of this packaging. Now you guys might remember when this was launched at MWC in February, and you guys might also remember that this got a lot of criticism, and you'll see why in a second once I get it outside the box. And that is because it has a notch, a similar style notch to something like the iPhone 10. And although since this, there's been lots of other devices with notches such as the OnePlus 6 as well as the LG G7, this was the first offender. Now it wasn't definitely the first out there with this style of notch, but it was the first from a mainstream manufacturer like ASUS. We had seen some other smaller sort of Chinese brands having some iPhone clones, but this was the first, and it got a lot of criticism for that. It was called the iPhone clone and whatnot. But now it's become mainstream, so it is kind of unfortunate that it got all of the backlash, but we're going to have a look at it and see what else it offers. So inside the box we've got a fast charger initially, as well as a USB type A to USB type C cable. There's some ASUS headphones as well, they have some additional ear tips. In this little pack here we've got some paperwork, SIM card ejector tool, as well as a soft clear case. I really do like it when manufacturers include a soft clear case. It just means that you can start using the device straight away without having to worry too much about maybe dropping it or something like that, because that's the worst thing. Imagine you buy a brand new device and within a few minutes you go ahead and drop it straight away. So just a very simple clear case, but it's always nice to have until you get something else. Right, now let's get to the phone. We've got it in some plastic. Actually just slide it out. There we go. And we've got a sticker. And here is the phone. The build is quite premium. We've got a metal frame with 2.5D Gorilla Glass, but it's got quite a unique look. We've got some light streaks that come from this middle fingerprint scanner area and kind of go around. This is achieved with an 8-layer optical coating process, whatever that means, but it does look pretty slick. Right, now if you take a look around the device, so up front, the first thing you will notice is that notch. Doesn't look too bad. We've got generally smaller bezels. We also have a chin. Now the bezels aren't as small as the iPhone, but then again this comes in at half the price of the iPhone. So the iPhone is £1,000 here in the UK. This starts at £500. So of course you're going to be making some compromises, and this is an IPS LCD panel, which is why you need this chin as far as I know. But it's 6.2 inches from edge to edge, and it has a full HD plus resolution. Seems pretty decent in terms of the first impressions, but as you guys know, I do prefer OLED panels compared to LCD. Right, up front within this notch is a front-facing camera. This is 8 megapixels with an f2.0 aperture, but also within this notch is a speaker. So you do have stereo speakers. You've got one here and then you've got one at the bottom. This is something that we don't have on something like the OnePlus 6. Also the bottom is USB-C ports, as well as a 3.5mm headphone jack, so that's great that we still do have this. Nothing apart from a secondary mic at the top. On the right hand side is a power button as well as the volume rocker. On the left hand side is a SIM card tray. Now you do have space here for a micro SD card, so you can expand the storage. It does come with a base of 64 gigabytes, but there is also a 128 gig as well as a 256 gigabyte option available. You also get 100 gigabytes free of Google Drive storage when you purchase this. This is going to be for 1 year. And you can also have dual SIMs, so if you choose not to use a micro SD card, you can have 2 SIMs inside this. At the back we do have this fingerprint scanner, which seems to work pretty well. So it's around 0.3 seconds unlock speed. You've also got facial recognition, so if I try unlocking it here, it works well. We'll do that again, so it's locked. unlocked. So pretty fast. This is something kind of standard that we expect from most devices these days. And then we have the camera. So we've got a dual camera setup. The primary camera is 12 megapixels with an f1.8 aperture. This has a standard angle of view. But then we have an 8 megapixel 128 degree wide angle camera with an f2.0 aperture. Now, you guys have heard me say this so many times. When it does come to a secondary camera, I do prefer a wide angle compared to a telephoto, which is going to give you optical zoom. Maybe that's just the type of photography that I do, but it is quite nice to have another device apart from the LG devices to have a wide angle camera. As with pretty much every other camera now, it does have a portrait mode, so this is where it's going to artificially blur the background. And it's got AI photography built in, ASUS Say, which is going to try to enhance your images based on what the camera sees. You guys know my opinions on AI photography. If it's doing some enhancing, let it do it in the background. I don't really care about it. Right now, internally, this does have the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 processor. So that is the latest and greatest. So I expect the performance of this to be pretty smooth. It comes with either 4, 6, or 8 gigabytes of RAM. And it does have Android Oreo with the ASUS Zen UI 5 on top. So it's a skin. I haven't really spent much time with the Zen UI skin, so I can't really comment on it. It doesn't seem too flashy, but I will hold my opinions for later on, as I will do for the cameras. This device is quite early, so there will be lots of software updates coming. Once I do have the final software updates, then I will do some camera tests, and definitely let me know which device you'd like me to compare this to first. I'm assuming it's going to be something like the OnePlus 6, which sits in a similar price bracket. So to really see which one of these does a better job in terms of the cameras. I do like the fact that this does have the wide angle rather than just 2 standard angle cameras. In terms of the battery, we've got a 3300 mAh battery. I can see lots of fingerprints here at the back as well, so that's something that you're going to get with pretty much most glass backs. Now, we don't have wireless charging, but we do have fast charging, and we've got AI charging. So this is basically going to try to look at your charging patterns and not going to charge your device to 100% straight away. Say, for example, if you normally wake up at, say, 8 p.m., then it's going to charge up to 90%, but then it's going to give you that final top up just before you wake up. And this is supposed to preserve the battery for a longer period of time. And that is the ASUS Zenfone 5Z. What do you guys think of it? Is this a device that you guys are interested in? Definitely drop me a comment below and let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then do hit that thumbs up button for me. And if you haven't already, then be sure to subscribe and switch on notifications. There's lots more content coming up on here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV. I'll see you next time.